Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Differential Equations and Linear Algebra course. My name is Ben Little, and I will be your host. Prior to diving into the details of the course, I wanted to go ahead and give you a little introduction to my teaching style as well as the syllabus that I have created for this course. So, generally speaking, this is going to be my first mathematics course that I am offering online through YouTube. It's basically going to be a self-paced course in which you may go at any pace. I will be providing assignments that will be posted to certain YouTube videos, so you'll be able to constantly assess to see how you're understanding the material. My teaching style in general, I am extremely conceptual, but at the same time, I am also extremely structured. So you will always see me go through each and every step. Very rarely do I skip any details whatsoever. The only things that I will assume that you have knowledge of in this course is going to be single variable calculus as well as a notion of basic computation of partial derivatives. For single variable calculus, I do have two review lectures that I decided to go over as they will be particularly important for this course. Those will be integration by parts and integration by partial fractions. They're a little bit more subtle topics from the single variable calculus courses, and I want you to be taught my way. So I went ahead and placed those into my syllabus as well. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into the details of what this course is going to look like. Just a moment as I move the camera. Sorry here. Just a moment here as I get this going. Perfect. All right. So I did make a little syllabus here. So my full name is actually Benjamin Little, but you can go ahead and call me Ben. That's much easier. I will not have any formal office hours. However, if you have any questions, you are more than welcome to reach out to me and we can go ahead and try to make an appointment. You can reach me by email at mathematicsbybenlittle@gmail.com. This course is going to have two primary texts. One is going to be Differential Equations by Dennis Zill. And then the second text is going to be Elementary Linear Algebra by Ron Larson. Note that these texts are pretty easy to find online, but they are not going to actually be required for the course. So if you don't want to purchase or download the books online, you don't need them. I just want to give you the references on where I get a lot of my teaching sources from. All of the assignments will be a one-click away from a certain YouTube lectures. And as we already discussed, the prerequisites, just single variable calculus and then basic computation of partial derivatives. So this course is unique because most universities, they teach differential equations and linear algebra separately, but I think that they really intertwine well together. So we are actually going to this course is going to give a first exposure to both differential equations and linear algebra. The way we're going to go through this course, actually, don't worry about the course content because I'm going to go through that in a little bit more detail in a moment. As far as, obviously, you're not going to have anything formally graded since I don't have a way of grading any of you. But I will provide homework assignments each week. Well, I say Friday here, it might not be exactly on Friday, typically around every 3 to 4 lectures. And then I will also have quizzes on most weeks. While I say on here Fridays, it might not necessarily be exactly on Fridays. I will have 2 exams for the course that will be intended to be closed book, so you shouldn't need notes, phones, or calculators for them, just to see how well you understand the material. There will also be a final exam that I do create. Without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into the course material. So I do have like a formal course schedule guide here. So there's 2 review lectures that I've already posted. I call those lecture R1 and R2, and that's where we review integration by parts and partial fractions. Um, After the end of the review lecture 2, I have posted a homework 0, which is basically reviewing problems of those 2 lectures. We will begin the formal course through with differential. We will begin our study with differential equations. We will basically go through first order differential equations. We'll go through existence and uniqueness. And then we're going to go ahead and solve first order equations, exact equations, go through some substitution. Then we'll get into the theory of linear equations, and this is where we're going to create our constant coefficient, what I call workbook. From there, we'll dive briefly into eigenvalue boundary value problems. This is going to be mainly useful if you move forward into a partial differential equations course, but I do find the topics quite fascinating. After that portion, I will have a first exam, and then we're going to dive into the linear algebra portion of the course. So we will go through linear systems, matrix algebra, determinants, and eigenvalues and eigenvectors. After that, I'll go ahead and assign a second exam, and then we will dive into systems of differential equations. And we will go through the methods of solving those as well as the matrix exponential. And then we will conclude the course with the Laplace transform, which is a very powerful tool to solve a lot of differential equations. My audience for this course is much more for the mathematics major than it would be for the engineering major. I don't really dive into and I don't dive into as many applications for this course because I really want the students to grasp the mathematical foundations. Because I believe if you have the mathematical foundations mastered, the applications will come very easily to you. And since this is a first exposure, that's how I'm going to teach the course. Thank you very much for your time, and I really look forward to working with you.